on Mueller's statement today, did he give his exact prepared remarks that he shared with Attorney General Barr, or did they differ?
That's a question you'd have to ask the Department of Justice. I'm not sure on that.
Were you surprised by them?
No, because there was no real news in there. He reiterated the points that he'd already made in the report, and we agree with him. There was no collusion, there was no conspiracy, and we consider this case closed. He completed his investigation. Now he's closed his office, and it's time for everybody to move on. He's going back to his private life, and we think everybody else should too.
The president and you have both said that it's case closed, but Robert Mueller was very clear that if he had confidence that no crime had been committed, he would have said so. He didn't say so. Why is it wrong for Congress?
If Bob Mueller had determined that there was a crime, he would have had a moral obligation to report it, to put that into his report. He didn't. The whole purpose that he had an investigation, the whole purpose that the special counsel existed in the first place was to make a determination on whether or not there was collusion. He came to a very explicit conclusion on that front that there was no collusion and there was no conspiracy. He couldn't make a determination on whether or not there was obstruction, which means that is up to the Attorney General. The Attorney General, based off of, without regard to the OLC opinion, based off of the exhaustive information laid out in the report that Mueller himself put together, there was no obstruction. He worked with the Deputy Attorney General to make that determination. The Attorney General made that decision without the OLC opinion being factored in. He was very clear about that.
Sarah, to be very clear, Robert Mueller said the Constitution requires a process other than the criminal justice system to formally accuse a sitting president of wrongdoing. So isn't that Congress, and how then can the president claim total exoneration when it hasn't been exonerated?
Certainly the process would be for Congress, but that's not necessary because it's already been done. They spent 2 years. They interviewed 500 people. They looked at over 1 million pages in documents, over 50 subpoenas, and made the determination there was no collusion. Again, that's the entire reason for the special counsel. They've concluded it. Just because Democrats don't like the results of the 2016 election or the Mueller report doesn't mean they get a do-over. It's sad that they have no message, that they have no agenda, and the hypocrisy of the process that they're doing. What they're going through and what they're going to do to the country, that doesn't hurt the president. It hurts the American people, and that's unfair, and they should be ashamed of themselves for doing that. Hey guys, one at a time. Paula.
Has Congress exonerated? Did Congress exonerate the president, as the White House claims he's been exonerated?
Look, we think the president has been fully and completely exonerated based on the fact there was no collusion, there was no conspiracy, and there was no obstruction.